Hey everyone, it's Joey Milam at Alpha Mortgage Advantage, and I wanted to talk really quick about money. How much money you're going to need when it comes to buying a house. So obviously one of the most common questions that I get asked as a lender, and there's a couple different things you really want to think about when purchasing a home. Obviously down payment and closing costs are going to be the two biggest ones. That's how much money you're going to need to bring to the transaction in most cases. So when it comes to down payment, there are a number of options, and it really depends on what loan program you're doing. So if you're doing perhaps a VA loan, USDA loan, or possibly a North Carolina housing loan, which offers down payment assistance, you may not need any down payment at all whatsoever. You would still need closing costs, but you might not need a down payment. Otherwise, if you're looking at an FHA loan, conventional loan, you're typically going to need some money saved up for down payment. FHA loans, flat 3.5% minimum down payment. You can put more down, though it's fairly rare. With a conventional loan, for first-time home buyers, you can put as little as 3% down on a home. There are a few exceptions for lower income individuals that can put 3% down when they're not a first-time home buyer. But again, it's fairly uncommon, but a possibility. In general, though, with your traditional conventional loan for a non-first-time home buyer, typically you're going to need to put at least 5% down. Now, a lot of people think 20% down. You only want to put 20% down if you're trying to avoid mortgage insurance, which of course most people do want to do that. If you have the ability, certainly put that much down, but it's not required. And with these percentages, I'm talking about the percentage of the purchase price. So if you're buying a $100,000 house, you want to think if you need to put 3% down, you're a first-time home buyer, you're going to need $3,000 available for your down payment expenses. Additionally, on top of down payment, closing costs. Now, in years past, it was possible to sometimes negotiate for the sellers to pay for some of your closing costs. Now, while it is technically still possible to do that, it is exceedingly uncommon in the current market that we're in. I've only seen seller paid closing costs on maybe 2 or 3 deals in the last 6 months or so. So very, very uncommon, but again, still technically possible. Closing costs, some people will tell you that it's a percentage. I often hear that it's going to be 3% of the purchase price of the home in closing costs. It's really, on occasion, it might be true, but in general, it's really not good to look at percentages because it really varies based on the house, on the loan program, on a number of different things. So for someone that's not putting 20% down, you have to do your escrows. We have to escrow your taxes and insurance, meaning that your monthly mortgage payment includes paying for the taxes and the insurance on the home. So when we're doing that, it does raise your closing costs a little bit. The money all works out in the end when it comes to escrows because you're not overpaying for taxes and insurance. But we do have to collect for some of those things up front on the purchase of the house. So, closing costs, in general, it's rare that I see them below $5,000. Maybe on a lower cost house, $150,000 or so or less, we might see them be below $5,000, but fairly rare. In general, I would say for your average, maybe $150,000 to $300,000 home, closing costs are typically going to be anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000, and up from there depending on the cost of the home. So closing costs are going to be made up of the attorney fees, the lender fees, the appraisal, things like that, as well as escrows and also the full payment of the first year of your homeowner's insurance on the home. So all of those things add up. We calculate your closing costs very, very precisely, down to the day. Everything is prorated as far as taxes and insurance, payments, everything. So more than happy if anyone ever has questions on a specific scenario or they're kind of curious what the cost may be, how much money they need to have to buy a home. Happy to talk to you, go over your options, go over your loan options, however the case may be. One last little final thought too, closing costs and down payment can be a gift from someone. So if you've got a really generous parent or grandparent, aunt, uncle, usually gifts need to be from family members or someone that you have a long-standing relationship with. It can be gifted. So it doesn't necessarily have to be money that you have. And then there are certain rules and regulations and forms that have to be filled out when you're getting a gift. But that is totally a possibility. I've had clients take out 401k loans to potentially buy a home, getting their money that way, or withdrawals from their 401k. Oftentimes you can do, for the purchase of a primary home, you can take money out of retirement without penalty. So there's a lot of different options and ways to make home ownership a possibility for you. If If you have any questions whatsoever, by all means, please reach out to me. 910-250-8888 is my direct number. Feel free to call me, text me. Love talking with clients, going over scenarios and finding out ways to make home ownership a reality for them. So again, this is Joey at Alpha Mortgage, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Thanks so much.